What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome to another episode of live video game hunting series I started up so I can show you all these finds, whether it's yard sales to flea markets, thrift stores, or even just apps on my phone. You get to see it through the live footage. Let's go ahead and announce the winner to last episode's giveaway, and that winner is NorCal831 or Norcal831. I could be pronouncing that wrong. Just hit me up on Instagram. You got $20 store credit to my eBay store, where not only can you find games, you can find just about anything, guys. If you want to be entered to the contest for the next episode, all you got to do is be subscribed to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button, because that definitely lets YouTube know that there's people that like to watch these videos. Leave a comment down below, hopefully something positive. If you want a little extra credit, share these videos so other people can see these finds, learn how to beef up their collections. You already know where all the links are. They're in the description. eBay store, Macari, Twitch, Instagram. It's all there. Guys, I'm super excited about this week. You're going to find out why. Sit back and relax. Let's check a look. Alright everybody, welcome to another episode. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys find out there, whether it's good or bad. You know I like to hear the discoveries that you guys make out there when you're hunting. So anyways, here we are with the first pickup, and I'm going to go ahead and be brutally honest. This is a very sketchy pickup for me. I've been in a lot of sketchy situations, but man, just look at the ambiance of this place, and not downing the person's house or anything, but man, this was in the backwoods. This was a far drive. He said, you got to come to me, my tire is flat, which I did look at the car whenever I pulled in. I was like, man, I better put these, puzzle pieces together and make sure I'm not going to get, my face used as decoration on some lampshade. But everything checked out for the most part. I mean, this was kind of a letdown of a drive right here. I just wasn't getting what I expected to get. And there's two real reasons why I ended up picking this lot up. And number one is, I asked him, I was like, hey man, I am literally not on your side of town. I will be tomorrow. Any chance can you hold this for me? And this was a Facebook post. So he agreed to that, and right away that kind of just like obligates me to pick this up, because it would be such a rude thing to say, hey, I don't want this no more, even though you held it for me. And what it is an N64 lot he had posted for $50, and there were 4 games, one of which was Rat Attack, which is going to make up a good 2/3 of everything that I spent on this, assuming that I paid $50. So I was like, you know what, this is worth it. One of the pictures showed a controller, a transparent green controller, and right away I was like, oh sweet, it's got the transparent green controller right there. That's a pretty uncommon controller right there. It's going to help tremendously. But I pulled it out. It was an aftermarket. He's like, yeah, I had to buy that thing new. Like, he's trying to upsell me that controller. And that was a big letdown right there. Now, we agreed on $50 originally. And then you notice me pull off the port to the top, and there was no jumper pack. There was no expansion pack. And I was like, man, I can't use this without this. You know what? It was a bad situation that I put myself into this. All of this could have been avoided had I messaged them a little bit more, saying, hey, what type of, memory slot does it have in there, or things like that. And I didn't. I could have asked for closer pictures on the controller, which, again, that was a letdown, but I didn't. So, like I said, I'm kind of obligated to this, but you know what? I'm not obligated to that $50. I offered him $30. I was like, listen, I'll give you $30 for this, and I'm buying it on the fact that I have no idea if this N64 works. I haven't tested it yet. You'll get to see it on an upcoming vlog, and hopefully it does. But hey, at least I get to add 2 games to my collection, and I'm not really going to lose any money, because Rat Attack should cover majority of everything that I spent here. So here I am at the flea market on Saturday, and you can see the puddles of water on the ground. The tables are a little wet. It was just muggy. There was a handful of vendors, not a lot of hunters or competition out there, which was sad for the fact that I didn't really find much else at the flea market besides the other pickup you'll see after this, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I do manage to pick up this Animal Crossing City Folk strategy guide. It was only $1, and it was one that I didn't have. Now, if you're just picking this up to resell, be careful, because a lot of strategy guides aren't really worth that much. Do your research ahead of time. It's cheap to mail, you can ship them all day media mail, but just be warned, pick them up cheap, and that way there's no risk. So here we are, just further down the line at the flea market, and I come across this little stack of Sega Genesis games right here. Something kind of tells me that someone may have already picked up a few from them. Keep in mind, it's early, but it's not that early. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, so that's kind of late for me at the flea market. But I mean, kind of getting there later and later. I kind of focus more of my time on the yard sales. That's where I actually have more luck at. But I do come across these three games, and they were some solid titles. You had Echo the Dolphin, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and of course Jurassic Park. Now I don't know, I could be completely wrong. Maybe I was the first person hearing this. Just happens to be all he had, and someone could have came up and bought two or three really solid titles from him, paid $5 a piece. I said, man, how much do you want for these games? And he hit me with a $10 bill, and that's a great deal for that, obviously. But if I'm trying to get anything out of this so I can put more focus into my game collection, I gotta, I wanted to get it a little bit cheaper. I tried my best to haggle this guy down. I was like, man, do me $7, do me $8, do $9. He was stern. I wasn't going to push him. I wasn't going to be rude. I was like, you know what, man, it's early in the morning. Here's $10 for it. That's still a pretty damn good deal. That's well over $30 worth of games, maybe 30, 35. So that's just going to be more money to put in my pocket and put right back into the game collection. So they're not always the biggest scores that you can get. It's the small ones that add up more overall, I think. Alright guys, you saw the thumbnail. I'm sure this is the video that you wanted to see or the clip that you wanted to see. This is such a bittersweet pickup right here. It was an amazing pickup for me, but it could have been tremendously better, and I'm going to explain fully. Now, obviously, you see him bringing this stuff out of the house. For that, the reason for that is obviously this stuff wasn't out on the sale. You got to ask these people, guys. If you don't realize that by now, you'll never get ahead or build up your collection or resell. You'll never do good at it unless you're asking these people, hey man, you got anything old school? I like to joke with them. I always say, hey man, that stuff we used to play when we were kids. Just kind of get them on your side. And he brings this stuff out, and look at this, guys. He had like 50, 60 NES games. He had the system. He had some magazines, and oh my God, the magazines. Wait till you see these guys. I mean, this is just a beautiful lot. And I am not going to lie to you 100%. This was a struggle to get this guy to bring this stuff out. Now, keep in mind, whenever I haggle or talk to people, I am a very peaceful person. I'm a joking person. I always preach that a lot to you guys. You are definitely going to catch more flies with honey than you are, some bitter-ass salt statement you try to give people. And I really did. He was very hesitant. He's like, man, let me get your number. I'll call you. I don't know where the stuff is. And I'm just like, well, you know what? Maybe your wife does. Check with her. And he eventually, man, it was hard to get him to go bring this stuff out. But, once they bring this stuff out, chances are you're going to be able to walk away with it. And that was true in this case, partly. Oh, look at that G.I. Joe right there. I needed that one. That one I've been looking for a while. Now, it's not the most obscure one you can get for the NES. It's still a good one to have, and I didn't have either. But look at this, guys. Look at these Nintendo Powers. Look at this. Oh, look how beautiful. The first issue. Oh, my. Look, you can see me shaking my head at the fact that there's two copies of the first edition, the first released Nintendo Power, and they were all very early editions. Every single one of them had their posters. They were just magnificent. I even looked at them, just keeping them smiling, keeping them laughing. I was like, this is that pre-internet gold mine right here. And you can hear the excitement in my voice as I'm even watching this recap. I mean, it was an amazing experience. I never find Nintendo Powers, and I never thought I would find the first issue, and I found two today. That was amazing. Now, see, we're at the top of the ride of the hill on the roller coaster. Let's go downhill, screaming our asses off on how bad this sale could have been. He wasn't going to sell me any of this stuff because he didn't know if it was his or his brother's. He's on the phone trying to get a hold of him. He's all like, I don't know if I'm supposed to hold on to it or he gave it to me. And I was like, well, how about this, man? I live kind of far away. Would it be okay to pick out 5 or 10 games? And, that way I could at least get some of the things that I want. And I was like, man, I'll give you $5 a game, which he thought was an amazing deal. And I didn't want to lowball him and say, I'll give you $1 a game or $2 a game. For the titles you're going to see me pick out here, that would have been a very rude offer. And the reason that I wanted to give him that $5 offer per game is because that's not so cheap to where he will never call me back for the rest of the stuff. Because I do end up getting 8 games, G.I. Joe being one of them, and all those Nintendo Powers and everything, and I paid $50 for everything you're going to see me pick up. Now, to make a long story short, I didn't get everything you see here. I just pick up the 8 games and all the Nintendo powers. And you may be asking yourself, you know what, $5 is a pretty lowball offer. Well, I was using that as more of a strategy, because if I paid them $10 a piece for these games, which would have been a good deal, there's not much room left over for me to recoup my costs, which obviously, you know, for all of you who watch my channel, that's what it's about. I grow my collection. Look at this. I did not pick up Gold 2. Go ahead and read me out in the comments for that one. I don't know why I didn't pick it up, but I left it. And if I said $10 a game, then if I did buy everything here, I wouldn't be able to afford all that. $5 was more than fair for those 8 games, for the fact that I had intentions on buying everything else, and I was going to drop a good bit of money for them. But sadly, you know, I called him back, you know, an hour later, and he says they decided to keep it. There's nothing that I can do about that, guys. I made the best out of a very bad situation, and I could have got nothing. Hell, I wouldn't have even known this stuff was in this guy's house had I not played the game like you're supposed to. So I had to be selective on this one. I could only pick out a certain amount of games. He didn't want to sell me that many, in case they did decide that they wanted to keep it. So I picked out, obviously, the games that you see pictured there, that you see in the videos. I mean, I pick out some good titles, and I know that I missed a few. But I had to be selective on this. I picked up all the Mega Mans because every single one of them was in such beautiful condition. They're all going to be label upgrades for me in my collection, which I'm very happy for because I love the Mega Man series. But these Nintendo powers right here, guys, that's what made it so special. And to lose out on all that other stuff, well, you know what? That's the way it works. But you know what? I got this. And that's what makes it so special to me. Definitely my favorite pickup of the week. I don't know what it is, but anytime I'm out yard selling, it's almost inevitable that I'm going to come across a TI-83 Plus calculator. And I include this footage because obviously you can put games on here. I mean, I've even seen a video of someone putting Doom on this calculator. Pick these things up when you can. They are declining in price. I wasn't able to test this, but the screen was good. I picked it up for 50 cents. They can sell somewhere between 25, 35 bucks, just depending on what type you have, what color it is, and what accessories you have with it. So always grab them. So here I am moving along at another yard sale, and this one is one of those yard sales where you're just here, you know, 20 seconds too late. Apparently he had a whole bunch of Super Nintendo and NES games. It doesn't matter. Don't let that stuff concern you. Don't be that person be like, man, what did you have? Go ahead and make me feel so bad by telling me what you sold. What I do is I'll ask them, I was like, how long ago was it that that person was here? That way, if they say 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I know how far to get ahead of them when I'm on a specific route, because most likely they're on the same route. I should have picked up that North Face jacket. I don't know what I was thinking, because he was selling everything dirt cheap, which what you see me pick up here is this Star Wars plug and play, and it was only $1. I mean, that's, like I always tell you guys, plug and plays, if you can get them for $1 or $2 most, always pick them up. When I pulled up and I saw this guy in his RoboCop shirt, I already knew the story before he even told me. I was here too late because I'm on the other side of town yard selling, and when I go from one side to the other, there's not much in between, so I always get to this side a little bit late. That's why I usually save it till the end of the day, because my success rate on this side's not that high. But you know what? I use the information. So here we are with the last pickup of the week, and this one's kind of funny right here because I didn't realize what cell I was at until I was here, but when I saw this NES with these games, I already knew that picture from a Craigslist ad or from whatever app I was using at the time. I saw this picture, and it was real dark, too. Like, you couldn't see much of it. Like, it was very hard to see, but I knew the games that he had there -1. I didn't know he had Sega Genesis games, which I do end up picking up Road Rash and Paperboy. But what was funny about the sale is whenever I saw that picture, you know, it was real hard to make out. I sent him a message. I just said, hey, man, how much are you asking for that NES with the games? And he said, he messaged back, he was like 8 games, $80 firm. I was like, okay, man, good luck with it. And you can see, I believe there's 7 games. He may have said more, hell, I don't know. But one game is missing there, which was Donkey Kong Classics. Well, it's like a $20, $25 game, maybe, I don't know. The next highest up game he has in that lot is Pac-Mania, which I did offer. I was like, man, would you sell this one separately? He's like, I'll keep it with it. I was like, well, how much are you asking for the NES? I already knew the price, but I wanted to see what he would tell me. He was like, I'll sell it to you for $75. So I already know that he probably sold that one game for $5 to whoever, but they left these Sega Genesis games behind. And guess what's crazy is he only charged me $1 for both of them, 50 cents a piece for those 2 games. That's a solid deal right there. And hell, as I'm listening back to this recap of my voice here, I went ahead and looked up Donkey Kong Classics. It's not even selling for that much anymore. My game's kind of dropped in price, so someone may have gotten lucky and paid $2 or $3 for it. Hopefully they did, you know, kudos to them. But anyways, guys, that's it. That's my video for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, you know, hit that thumbs up. That really supports this channel. It helps me out a lot. Shows YouTube that there's actually people that like this stuff. And as always, guys, I appreciate everything, all the support y'all have given me. Thank you all so much. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.